On today's observation of World Humanitarian Day, we highlight female aid workers who risk their lives to help others and make the world a better place. Here in Jamaica, our women continue to be the backbone of our society, and we applaud and thank them for their work to make our little corner of the world the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. Stay with us.
A message from the Bureau of Gender Affairs and the Dispute Resolution Foundation, paid for by the UN Women Fund for Gender Equality.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, August 19. The Ministry of Education has instructed schools that they are to charge no more than $5,000 for new students' registration packages this academic year. The directive was reportedly issued in a bulletin disseminated to all schools by the Acting Chief Education Officer, Mrs. Winnie Berry. State Minister Orlando Terrelong says the bulletin was in keeping with the ministry's call for schools to ensure education remains accessible and affordable for all. In keeping with that position, Minister Terrelong says the Education Ministry has abolished the term auxiliary fees and replaced it with parent support contribution. Schools have been warned that parents must not be forced to pay this contribution, nor should their children be denied entry. According to a press release from the ministry, the contribution must not be a requirement for registration, school access or attendance, criteria for graduation, examination slips, or application to sixth form. In fact, administrators should discuss and get approval from their regional director for the categories that will fall on the school payment voucher. The ministry is, however, insisting that the cost of consumables should not be combined into packages that mandate payment for the full cost. For example, packages should not contain a charge for 5 school crests when the parent might not require or be able to afford 5 at once. The Education State Minister says schools that fall short of funds during the course of the year can write to the Permanent Secretary with supporting documentation to request consideration for additional support. In the meantime, Mr. Terrelong says changes are being made to the funding formula to increase financing for schools, while sixth form programs will be fully funded by the government, including exam fees and resource materials. Transport and Mining Minister Robert Montego says he will do whatever it takes to ensure that the country is protected amidst global concerns with respect to the price of bauxite and alumina on the international market. The assertion comes as the minister and his team continue to have dialogue with key players in the bauxite industry. A statement from the ministry says those discussions remain at a delicate stage. Last week, the minister and his team met with representatives of Gisco Alpart, Windalco, the Clarendon Alumina Company, and the Noranda Bauxite Company. Asserting that Jamaica's interest is his first priority, Minister Montego says government is monitoring the bauxite and mining industry in an effort to allay fears of any possible fallout and to provide support aimed at protecting the welfare of workers and the livelihood of communities who depend on the industry. The Bogwalk Health Center and Police Station are to be upgraded as part of an $88 million project funded by the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF. The project also includes the rehabilitation of the Pineapple Lane Road in the community, and the work will be done over the next 6 months. This is being done under JSIF's Poverty Reduction Program, which is funded by the European Union. At the recent signing ceremony, JSIF's Managing Director Omar Sweeney said the support was geared at improving community infrastructure and ensuring the protection of human rights.
And so, whether a person has an infraction with the law or not, they have a human right to be housed in a proper facility. They have a human right as a citizen when you enter a police station to feel as if you're not entering an armory or a guard room or something like that. You should go into a police station and feel that you can have a confidential discussion. You should have trust. And these are basic human rights that all citizens need. And so we are in partnership on this program to ensure that your human rights are protected in every single way.
Assistant Commissioner of Police Warren Clark implored residents to see the investment as their own, as the upgraded station would enhance security. Preliminary discussions by government to extend Jamaica's largest bilateral sports cooperation agreement with China has been favorable. The three-year initiative called the Jamaica-China Technical Cooperation Program is in its second year of operation. Under the program, 138 Jamaican athletes, managers and coaches in 7 sporting disciplines traveled to China for specialized training during summer.
The ministers already had some preliminary discussion. The preliminary discussions have been favorable in the fact that both China and Jamaica have expressed an interest, but there's a process that has to be followed before we can determine whether or not there's an extension and what would be involved in that extension.
The ministry's permanent secretary was speaking with JIS News following a meeting to discuss the progress of the program held last Friday at China Sports International Corporation in Beijing. In addition to extending its length, Mr. Thorpe says proposals have also been made to expand the program to include other sporting disciplines.
Other sporting bodies in Jamaica have expressed an interest in being a part of a new program or an extension of the program if that does happen. So there have been about 5 or so federations, associations that have expressed an interest in the program, having seen the benefits of the program for the 7 disciplines that are currently involved.
Under the Technical Cooperation Program, more than 400 Jamaican athletes will travel to China for training over the next 3 years. And finally, Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sports, Olivia Grange, has expanded the membership on the National Council on Reparations and appointed a new team for the next 3 years. The 20-member council will serve from July 29, 2019 to July 28, 2022. The newly appointed council includes members from the legal fraternity, academia, the Rastafari community, civil society, the church and public sector. It is chaired by Mrs. Lalita Davis-Mattis, with Bert Samuels serving as deputy chairman. Other members are Professor Vereen Shepherd, Frank Phipps, Lord Anthony Gifford, Dr. Jelani Naya, Professor Rupert Lewis, and Stephen Golding. They're joined by Dr. Michael Barnett, Professor Clinton Hutton, Donald Roberts, Michael Holgate, Ras Lancroy Ho-Shing, Vivian Crawford, and Joanne Archibald. The 5 remaining members are Pastor Bruce A. Fletcher, Reverend Stephen Jennings, Dr. Winsome Gordon, Lorraine Williams Tafari, and Tamika Peart. Minister Grange says the council is to create strategies to secure and disburse reparations due to Jamaicans for the transatlantic slave trade. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Diseases spread. Wash your hands with soap and water instead. Wash them regular or use a hand sanitizer. Make sure the germs them dead. Touching your eyes or your mouth or your nose. Wash your hands before you do things like those. After you use the bathroom before preparing food, come on, wash your hands them clean.
The government is all about inclusive learning, and not just at the primary and secondary levels. Take a look.
Lexley is preparing for another day at Jamaican Teas, where he works as assistant to the factory manager and the company's hazard analysis and critical control points coordinator. He is among the men and women who, despite their physical, mental or social limitations and impairments, are learning to create value and purpose with the skills they have acquired. His life has been changed significantly because of the services provided by the Abilities Foundation.
Life was sort of weird in many ways. A lot of wasting of time in terms of parties, but yet still wanted to achieve something, but the opportunity wasn't there.
It was through a group of concerned parents, stakeholders, that their children who were disabled After graduating high school, they had nowhere else to go. And they raised a telethon to raise funds to establish a skills training center. And through that, Abilities Foundation was born in October 1992. Abilities Foundation is a unique institution. It's the only institution in the Caribbean and in Jamaica that caters to all disabilities.
The foundation was established to meet two primary objectives: increase the employability of persons with disabilities and teach good work ethics to young adults with disabilities to prepare them for integration into society.
The training programs I was engaged in is office administration. Being at the Abilities Foundation and being a person with disabilities, basically you are comfortable because you are amongst persons with disabilities and their understanding of conditions. I learned that there.
The courses offered through the Abilities Foundation seek to provide opportunities for full participation and equality. These programs open new skill areas and, whenever possible, are crafted within existing social, education, and labor trends. The foundation currently offers 5 training programs: housekeeping levels 1 and 2, furniture making, data operations levels 1 and 2, design and decor soft furnishing, horticulture and landscaping.
What we do is that we give them an in-house test. If they are capable of passing it at 70%, we send them up to do what you call an assessment. The assessment is done by outside persons from Heart, and they do the assessment and finish the program, certified through Heart. If they are not capable, then they will give them what you call a unit competency. That unit competency is a document or paper showing that they are capable of doing these units.
The foundation also provides a functional life skills curriculum which focuses on the students' transition to the workforce, as well as remedial English and mathematics, money awareness and management.
I assist them with preparation of their resumes, their cover letters, searching for different employment opportunities. One of my major functions is to provide them with placement sites so that they can get job experience.
For the past couple of years, we have been with the NYS, and we recognize that after that's a summer program, but we recognize that after they are placed in the summer program, it's easier for us to go back to those places to get permanent placement for them because they see what they can do and not their disability.
The foundation has been able to extend its reach and service offerings through grant funding from the Japanese Policy Human Resources Development Grant Program. The grant was provided through the Ministry of Labour and Social Security's Social and Economic Inclusion Project for persons with disabilities.
What this project endeavors to do is to build the capacity of the institution through professional development courses for the staff. A major component of this project is to assist the students with a training stipend, and it is targeted for those who are path beneficiaries. The project also provides them with a job placement officer and a job coach. So when we place them on jobs, we also give them a coach to mentor and help them throughout the process.
The foundation continues to open doors for persons with disabilities and equip them with the requisite skills and knowledge to become productive Jamaican citizens. The Abilities Foundation, creating opportunities for the exceptional.
Water is precious. So we encourage everyone to practice the 4 R's of water conservation. Always remember to reduce your use of water wherever possible. Replace water wasting devices with water savings devices. Reuse water wherever possible. And wherever leaks are found, please repair them and repair them quickly.
Don't delay. Practice the 4 R's of water conservation today.
The time is dwindling down and summer with free paper soon burn. Don't be caught slipping. Let's see what's in your bag this September.
For infant schools, we're recommending a dark colored bag because we want to reduce the number of times we're washing the bags. And children play a lot, bags get dirty. We also want to ensure that in the bag, there is a water bottle. Water is important because as children play, they get dehydrated, and this will actually affect how comfortable they are. So we want to ensure that there's water in the bag so that they're sipping throughout the day. Now, especially for preschoolers, as they're entering schools for the first time, we know that there is separation anxiety. One of the things that we recommend is a toy. It helps them to be just a little more comfortable with that transition to school. Another thing that we want to place in the bag is a blanket. Children need sleep time, and so the blanket, a nice clean blanket, is good to add to the bag. Another thing that we recommend is a pencil case. We want a pencil case that is durable and one that can secure the pencils. Of course, you can't have a school bag without notebooks. One of the things we recommend is lighter notebooks for the children who are smaller because we do not want the bag to become too heavy. In the notebook, it's also advisable that you put an emergency contact number. What would be recommended also is a change of uniform so that if they get dirty, they can change off. A clean rag is also recommended to dry their hands and also perhaps to wipe their faces. As times get hot, they become sweaty, we need a fresh rag. For children who are transitioning to primary or high school, you will notice that we have a bigger bag. So let's look at what should go in the bag. First of all, there is a smart device that we're recommending. Of course, you're going to refer to your school's policies regarding cell phones or other smart devices. But as we prepare our children for 21st century learning, if it is that the policy supports this, then we recommend that you ensure that there is a smart device so that the children can be using these to support their learning as dictated by their teachers. We also recommend hand sanitizer. In some situations, a teacher might want to keep the hand sanitizer for the student, and so you refer depending on the teacher or the school. Of course, we are also purporting hydration. We have to ensure that children remain hydrated. When children get hot, they become uncomfortable, and this affects teaching and learning. And of course, as a partner of the Jamaica Moves campaign, we're also suggesting water as opposed to other sugary drinks. Toiletry is very important. So we have a Ziploc bag here, and we have toilet paper and a piece of paper towel. And there is also wipes. Let's go to the inside of the bag. What's in here? We continue to ensure our children are equipped with the writing implements, but for security purposes, we suggest that you give them a case to house the paper, scissors, the pens and pencils. There are also exercise books. Now, these exercise books are a little heavier because, as you know, primary school and high school require more note-taking. So these are a little heavier. One of the things we must also have is a planner, because homework is very important. So we recommend that you write down the homework so that you can ensure that those are submitted on the due dates. Of course, you must have the textbooks. Now, textbooks can be many, and they too can be heavy. So depending on what homework is assigned, you might want to work with a class teacher to also store some of these textbooks. So only the ones that will support homework will make it home. And you know, weather is also unpredictable. So we recommend an umbrella, a lightweight umbrella, or a rain cloak if you have it. We don't want our children getting ill because this will affect their attendance to school and ultimately affect learning. And that is it for what goes in the bag. We wish you a successful year. All the best.
We Jamaicans are a hard-working set of people, and we at the JIS know this. That's why after a hard day's work, you can simply pop onto our website, jis.gov.jm, and be in the know with government news and information. JIS, your information hub.
How is your planning for back to school coming along? Cross-check with this next feature.
It's that time of year when we say farewell to the carefree days of summer and welcome a new academic year filled with loads of promise. We want to ensure there's a smooth transition for all stakeholders. So we've prepared a last-minute back-to-school checklist to ease any worries you may have. Take notes. First tip, know the rules of the road. No, we don't mean the road code. What we mean is familiarizing yourself with the routes to and from the school. That way, when school resumes, you and your child can use the quickest and most convenient way to get there. And what's even more important, your child won't get lost. Now is also the time for you to finalize pickup and drop-off arrangements with taxis or buses. And be sure to inform the teacher of these arrangements. Your child's health is paramount. Visit the doctor to get his or her immunization up to date and have a complete medical check done. A dentist visit is also on the list. By now, all the school registration documents would have been submitted. If not, use the orientation day to turn in all outstanding documents. You may also want to use the orientation to drop off your child's textbooks to his or her teacher. This way, you'll be able to steer clear of the traditional first day of school rush. Next tip, deportment matters. By now, you should be aware of the school's uniform requirements. If the attire is not quite up to scratch, make the necessary adjustments. That may include exchanging the shoes or bags or making alterations to the uniform. Also ensure that your child's hair is groomed to meet the school's standards. Stay ahead of the curve on the home front. Assign a section of your home for all the things your child will need to function during school time. That way, he or she will know where to look when they need any school-related supplies. Ensure your child has been familiarizing him or herself with the information in the textbooks. Nutrition is also critical. Be sure to purchase additional food items to cover breakfast and possibly lunch for your child. Summer was fun, we know, late nights and even later mornings. But with school on the horizon, have your child return to his or her bedtime routine. Trust me, you'll thank me later.
This is Romain Virgo. I'm here to appeal to all of the youths them to just stay away from crime and violence. We know the temptation, the money, the fast life. People say them rate you, but that will only take you nowhere. If you stay in school and focus, then you can achieve anything. Be your own leader. A gang is a dead end.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
Summer is on the way out, so be sure to explore Jamaica during your free time. See what's in store for you in Westmoreland.
You may know it for its 7 miles of pristine coastline, its unmistakable sunset, or moving houses on trailers. You may see it in the news for its motorcycles, but there's so much more to the island's most westerly parish. We decided to give you a little peek. So come now, come around the bend with us in Westmoreland.
Come and get your fish at the border. We have our nice seafood. We have conch, we have steamed fish, we have bami, we have soup. If you come to the border, believe you me, you will never stop coming to the border.
If you're looking for an in-depth history lesson, you won't find it in this feature. Be sure to head on over to jis.gov.jm for a parish profile. What you'll get though is some good food and some breathtaking sights around these parts. When sugar was king, it was the center of economic life. And it was from these lands that Jamaica's road to independence was paved. Just look up the 1938 riots and the passage of universal adult suffrage in 1944. Up the road and round the bend, you'll find persons who came here to supply manpower. Yes, we're talking about Chinese and Indian indentured servants, and their influences live on. Negril is not the only capital of casual here in Westmoreland. What do you think about Bluefields?
Yeah, you can come and get your fresh fruit in White House.
Come and visit Peter Touch home, Belmont, Westmoreland. We all over there hang out and go and eat fish and ital.
Yeah, and people are coming down at the old wharf near to the front of the MCB bank there. But the noodle ship is good.
We came further up the hill, round the bend, to a place called Good Hope in Westmoreland, where our locals told us about a great house, right? The Whitehall Great House.
Great House.
This is our tour guide. He's a former worker there, Mr. Seaford Pringle.
Right.
Right. He was just telling us about the produce that came from there.
Yeah.
You said logwood.
Logwood, pimento.
Pimento.
Yeah.
Seaford, thanks for sharing the great house with us.
Okay.
And see you next time.
You're welcome.
You've seen our mountains, you've seen our springs, you've even seen our rivers. But did you know that we have a blue hole too? We're going to check that out right now. Westmoreland is also home to the Seaford Town German settlement. It's too far up the road for today, but you can visit when you have some time. They have a museum and the people are very warm and welcoming. Just tell them the JIS sent you.
One love, one heart. Come on down to Negril, you're gonna feel alright.
The tour done. I hope you had fun and you learned a little bit more about this Western wonderland called Westmoreland.
Our time on the station has expired, but our engagement doesn't have to end. We're available at your leisure on jis.gov.jm or our YouTube channel. There's also social media and a mobile app that's Android and iOS compatible. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.